Welcome to Heal the World Show podcast, brought to you by the Healing Institute. I'm Parmelia Parham. I'm the founder and the CEO of the Healing Institute. We are a worldwide online hub of holistic practitioners, and we are available for health and healing globally in the world. All of our practitioners are amazing. They actually get to the root cause of what's going on. And so we invite you to come and have a complimentary consultation with each one of our practitioners and get to know us because we are not just a directory, we are a community, a wellness community, an international wellness community. So I have been using holistic ways of being well and staying well for over 30 years. And so I know that it works. And that's what I love about what our practitioners do. We've had a medical model for 50 plus years that isn't really working anymore. And I do believe it's because we only looked at symptoms. We didn't look at the root cause. And all of our practitioners get to the root cause of what's going on. Now, the Healing Institute, I call it an institute because I'm passionate about educating people around how to be well and how to stay well. And let's face it, we're all on a health journey. So let's make that a proactive health journey. We did have a tragedy in our family a few years back when my mom passed away at a very young age. She was only 61, and it was due to complications with her kidneys because she had been on a medication for a very long time. She died just before Christmas on the 15th of December. I was 5 months pregnant with my son. And I say it's not just a tragedy that she passed away at a young age, but my children didn't get to meet their grandmother. And I really don't want that happening for other families. So that's why I am really passionate about education around health and healing and what is available. And from a holistic point of view, we are looking at everything that's going on in the body, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. And then I decided, yes, let's have a podcast and talk about it and invite some amazing practitioners and healers to come and talk about their area of expertise. And so today I am so delighted to have Kelly Retzlaff with us. She is from Eugene, Oregon, and we're just going to have a conversation around, well, our theme for March is Manifesting March. So what we're actually going to be talking about is manifesting from the heart for March's theme of Manifesting March. This is our 125th episode. I have been doing
Ooh.
this for 2.5 years. So I'm just so delighted, Kelly, to have you here today. And so we can talk about manifesting from the heart, which is so very important. Yes, so
And far
welcome.
easier. Far easier than some of the other methods we've been trying.
Yeah, that haven't worked. And we do know more about how the heart is connected to, actually, the heart is the brain, not the cognitive one that we have been kind of led to believe for many, many years. And so we know when we're actually living our life from our heart. Um, it's way more joyful and more satisfying and authentic because that's who we are.
Yeah,
So tell us a little
absolutely.
bit about the work that you have been doing lately because I'm really excited about that.
Oh, well, I'm pretty excited about it too. And I look forward to seeing how it continues to evolve in the years ahead because the one thing that I feel like I've been the most aware of in the last 6 months, year or so in particular, is the potential for miracles. Like what
Hmm.
we have previously defined as miracles is now it's almost like we can just invite it into our everyday life. And I say that as somebody who about 5 months ago finally cleared myself through my own healing journey and through my own energy work of nearly 30 years of chronic pain.
Mm.
And so to me, that was a miracle.
Absolutely.
And it was done through the breath.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow, if this is po what may be possible for us. And then I just want to invite that possibility into everybody else's life too.
Mm.
I want them to know that they have the capability, and not only the capability, but they are designed to heal,
Absolutely. And
right? Like we're already designed for it. We just haven't been taught that from a cultural perspective.
yes. Yeah, and our bodies are so amazing. They do tell us when things aren't quite right.
Hmm.
And then we need to listen to that, whether that's just an ache here or there, or stiffness or something going on. Our bodies are talking to us. And
All the time.
I don't believe we've actually embraced that. We think we have thought in the past, oh, something was physical. We have a medical practitioner that knows more than we do.
Hmm.
But we're in this body. So,
Yeah, we're the ones living through the result of those choices, good
yes.
or bad, in terms of how we're interpreting that experience. So, yeah, not because it really is a good or bad experience, it's just an experience, but how we often receive that experience and the story we make about it or the identity we carry with that experience is what often seeds either greater success and empowerment or greater disempowerment and victim feelings. So the goal is really for us to do what we can to clear out the belief systems that have been preventing us from feeling loved and empowered and valuable. And I've found, I will share personally, Permelia, one of the things that I found is the most beautiful about beginning to partner with our body and starting to open up to connecting with other types of holistic healers and different paths and different approaches. And as you know, I have healers in my world that are from all different backgrounds, Ayurvedic, Chinese medicine, astrology, esoteric, you name it. There's a variety of incredible people out there with so many different
Oh,
types of gifts.
absolutely. Yes.
And how cool is that? That, like, through the struggle of learning how to be healthier, we get to build community.
Oh, well, and that's what we need. We need to
And
have
community
community.
is going to be the solution to a lot of the other trauma we've been moving through as individuals and as a collective. So
And
I think that
I'm
this is
so glad that you talked about miracles right at the beginning, because I'm not sure how many people know, but I am, of course, a miracles student. And, one of the phrases is there is no order of difficulty in miracles. And if there's not a miracle happening, something's wrong. So those are the kind of miracles we need to have, and really embrace the fact that there are miracles out there, and we deserve to be part of that miracle because we are miracles ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are worthy because we exist. No other prerequisites are required. However, we have a lot of other stories in our biology that light up when I say that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, we
that
do.
that want to create other parameters or that limit that greater truth from
Yeah.
being fully how we're living and experiencing life.
Well, I want to
And
acknowledge that we have one of our practitioners with us today, Marie
yay.
Piplovic. Marie's lives in your area of the woods, not
Mhm.
Eugene, Oregon, but she lives in Oregon. And Marie is a conscious breathing facilitator, as well as she really helps women mostly who have been experiencing burnout. And
Mhm.
so Marie often pops on the podcast to be part of us. And she always sends us some wonderful comments and questions. So I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that Marie is here. And as a conscious breathing facilitator, of course, her comment is the breath is the foundation to access and open the heart and expand our capacity to receive miracles. And more people are realizing that now. That is so
Absolutely.
true. So
Yeah,
true. Thank you, Marie.
absolutely. Yeah, the breath is spirit.
It
I
is.
mean, there's a reason we talk about the elemental forms and different expressions of the elemental forms. So, being in partnership with the breath is absolutely going to open your heart. It's going to open your entire energy system. It's going to expand your consciousness. And it doesn't have to be a regimented approach to breath work. And
And
that's
we
the
all have it.
thing too. Yeah, and it's free. It's accessible to us 24/7, 365, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, for as long as we get to be in these living biologies.
Yes.
Absolutely. So,
I
yeah.
love that. Yes. So tell us more about the work that you have been doing lately.
So, part of my specialty, and I kind of came about it in an odd way because I have been working professionally as a designer and a business coach for more than 15 years now. And so I primarily work with a lot of healers and artists to launch
Hmm.
their businesses. I do beautiful branding work and websites and all of those wonderful things. And then I kept hearing along the way My clients would keep saying to me, "You're so much more than a designer. You're so much more than a coach." And I thought, okay, thank you. You know, and then about a year and a half ago, my guides were like, "It's important now for you to acknowledge that you have gifts as a healer." And I was
Yes.
like, oh, whoa, no, no, no. Like, I know dozens of incredible healers. I don't know that that's my skill set. They're wonderful people. I totally see that those skills are needed and valuable and incredible. And I'm so thankful to have such an incredible community of people around me, but that's not me. And they're like,
Well, and sometimes, I've had other healers tell me that whether it's imposter syndrome or something,
hmm.
but they don't want to say that they're a healer when in fact they are.
Well, it's almost like if you're surrounded by healers, there's your clue.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Good
Like
point.
everybody's a
Yes.
reflection of you. You're a reflection of them. So
Yeah.
if you keep meeting a certain type of person in your life, that's a really good indication. That's probably a skill set or a gift you have as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
But it took my guides really had to like push me into it to some degree. And I'm so glad they did because it turns out that I love this work. I love doing this
Well,
work and
and
I love weaving it into my existing
of course,
platform.
I'm very fortunate to have been able over the last year to have some sessions with you, and you are really, really good at it. Your intuition is just like at peak. So and things just come up for you, which is beautiful.
And
So,
I'm also really blessed with being a potent connection for people with their
mm,
star families, with different guides, with the angelic kingdoms, with different elemental beings, all sorts of different wonderful beings that want to be in more active partnership with us that are not in necessarily physical form. We have so much support here. And my own journey has been primarily kind of living with those guides and not quite maybe as embodied physically as focusing on my earth life. That was where my comfort zone was. So I've had to really work to be here on earth because my tendency is to want to stay and play in the intuitive realms and to be with my
mm.
spirit guides.
It sometimes is more fun.
Well, I think for me, it was a safety thing. So, in all
Mm,
honesty, there was some spiritual bypassing going on
yeah.
there. It was wanting to stay a little bit out of the body, not feeling the fullness of what my body was experiencing, and so it was definitely a little bit of a hiding out process, and
So
not
Marie's got
fully
a
being
great
committed to being here.
yeah, Marie's got a great question for you.
Hmm.
Will you explain what you experience when you speak of your guides and how you know it's them who are giving you the guidance? Ooh, great question.
Mm. Yeah, that's a really great question. That comes really, from my personal opinion, through discernment over time.
Mm,
Um, And then, I mean, my guy, a lot, I work with a lot of different beings, and so usually I get a hit on who it is. It'll be like, oh, the Palladians want to come through for a client, or the dragon beings. And I know that sounds crazy to anybody who doesn't work in these worlds, but it's just a knowing. It's a knowing, and you just trust that knowing. That knowing is already coming through the heart space. The intentions have already been
mm,
set to accelerate healing as the divine requires. And my job is to be the vessel, not control the ship. So as
right.
long as my intentions are pure and I surrender to that process with an open heart, and I also work with clients in the 0 point field, or the field of what I like to think of mother's cosmic womb, where all possibilities are there. And we're in a field of that 0 point is complete neutrality. There's no story, there's no ego identity with self. It is just pure spirit
And love.
and love and
Hmm.
light and
Hmm.
potential. And so it's
Hmm.
all the potential that's available. And that's the frequency in the space that I want to work from because I don't want to mess around. Let's do the highest capacity of exchange.
Yeah.
Let's get this healing moving in a way that feels tangible and applicable and like it's directly impacting our lives for the better. Because a lot of us have also been doing this work for a long time, and there's some areas where we think, oh my gosh, like I've made so much progress in all of these other areas of my life, but this one area, this one area is still my nemesis, so we tend to still kind of categorize success and failure with how we're interpreting our life from a day-to-day place. And that neutrality and entering into it from neutrality and not having the story attached really
Right.
helps to unwind the energy and really helps us to separate what's us versus what's not us. And so when I first started channeling, oh, probably about 8 years ago now. And I was doing that before because I've been an artist my whole life, and I think artists naturally do that. I just think that
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
I think that's who we are as humans. We just don't recognize that's what we're doing. Um, but what it was so extreme for me. I went to bed one night, and the next morning I woke up and I could channel, and all of these messages were coming in, and I thought I was losing my mind. This was 8 or 10 years ago, easily, and I didn't have anybody in my world really talk to about it at the time.
Mm.
But I noticed because I've been very sensitive as an empath my whole life, I could feel whether the signal was coming from outside of my body or whether it was coming from inside of my body. And if it was coming from outside, that was an invitation to be extra discerning
Mhm.
because that was like, I don't know if this is the being who says it. I don't know yet. This is new territory for me. You know, if Mother Mary presents, is this really Mother Mary or is this an
Mhm.
entity presenting as Mother Mary?
Yeah,
And
so
it's
you have
not
to.
about being fearful. This is building the strength and the muscles and the discernment and the trust with spirit that comes over time, and you're gonna falter. That's part of the journey. That's part of the learning experience. So it's not about being perfect or having all the right guidance the whole time.
Right.
It's about learning to trust and learning to build those muscles over time. But that's for me, that was something that helped me identify whether it was a signal I should really be tuning into more
Mhm.
or less. And I can't speak to other people whether they have that experience or not. But when I get information from my guides, it's inside my body. It's happening primarily in the central core of my system. I'm getting
Yeah.
it through my heart and my gut.
Mm.
And that is received in my brain as a knowing or a
Yes.
breadcrumb that I know to follow that will take me to whatever is needed next. But it is unique to everybody. And it
Yes.
really discernment, you and I've talked about discernment certainly a
Mhm.
lot before. And discernment, I want to clarify for all of our wonderful viewers, is not judgment. Okay.
No.
We're not
No.
judging anyone else. We're not judging ourselves. We're not saying that thing's bad, that thing's good. We're just saying this is a frequency I want to harmonize with. This is one I don't. It's just personal preference without the loaded story of self and other.
And I think that's so important because
Mhm.
I know uh, people people that I have met who don't really understand the difference between judgment and discernment. They
Mhm.
kind
They're
of lump
very
it all
different.
together.
Yeah.
And so it's very, I think it's very important for us to explain what specifically is just like you said, what is
Mhm.
discernment? It's not judgment. And that
It's not
the
judgment.
neutrality piece that you talk about, I love that because then you're not in a negative or a positive.
Yeah.
You're just being.
We're acknowledging all things exist
Mhm.
and we're not creating a story about right, wrong, good, or bad. And when we do that, when we acknowledge all things exist and I'm not reinforcing a story around it, all of that energy collapses into the center and becomes neutral and can be accessed for new creation.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why neutrality is so key. And that's really challenging to access when we're in a space of trigger, wounding, over identity with a particular experience or story,
Mm.
or emotional response in the body. And so that's one of the reasons it's such a great tool to have other healers in our world because sometimes they will hold that beautiful neutral space
Yes.
for us in a way that we're not capable for it, ourselves. I absolutely work with other healers. I've got all sorts of blind spots for myself. And I'll go to some of my community and be like, I've been working on this for 3 months and I can't seem to get anywhere. I'm not able to hold a neutral enough
Mm.
field around my own experience in this area. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the reality. And this is also what creates that intention in building with community. We were always here to be in community. We were always here to be witnessed by others, to be supported with others,
Mm.
for us to
Mhm.
support others. It was always meant to be symbiotic. I keep thinking of the mycelium kingdom and how they all work together to increase the health of the forest.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, that is what community is about.
That's what community is meant to be when it's from a place of healed authenticity.
Yeah,
And we can't get to that place if we're still anchored deeply into a victim, aggressor, savior identity, the Cartman drama triangle, as it's called
yeah.
in psychology. But let's drop in, and because I definitely want to make sure that we deepen in our awareness with manifesting from the heart before our beautiful podcast is done for the day. And so the real reason we wanted to bring that up today is because it is an easier process to manifest through the
Mhm.
heart than it is to manifest through the mental mind.
Mhm.
However, it takes some time to get comfortable with that because we have historically, for thousands and thousands of years, been more focused on manifesting through the mental mind, and especially since the Industrial Revolution. For about the last 150 years, roughly, humanity has been in its densest expression of overvaluing physicality
Mhm.
and kind of being more distant from understanding the spirit behind all creation.
Right. Yeah.
So now's the invitation to remember we're spirit first and everything else comes after that.
Yes, that's right.
And so that's what manifesting from the heart really can do. And the beautiful thing about that too is that we begin to be able to bypass all of the blocks and the stories and the hiccups and the trauma and all of the other junk that's still in the subconscious mind that hasn't been witnessed, that hasn't been healed, it hasn't been released yet. But because we are manifesting primarily from the subconscious, that's where we tend to get in the loops. That's where we tend to get frustrated with more of the same of what this isn't what I wanted. This not, how do I get past this, right?
And just to
It's
give a
not that
clarification,
anyone's doing it wrong. It's
no,
just that we
no,
didn't know any better.
but I just want to give a clarification about the subconscious because the work that
Mhm.
I do with body code
Yes.
and emotion code, oftentimes those emotions that we we may have got them from our ancestors, we may have
Mhm.
inherited them.
Yep.
We may not even recognize them as our emotions, but they do find they are in the subconscious. So that's why it's so important for us to acknowledge our subconscious and clear anything out of the subconscious that we need
Yeah,
that we need
absolutely.
to
And not
clear.
giving ourselves any judgment again around that.
Again, yes, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not in your awareness, it's not in your awareness. You can't give yourself a hard time for it. When it shows up in your awareness, that's when the invitation to
Yes.
dive
Yeah.
deep and to possibly be done with it, to clear it out, shows up. But until it's in your awareness,
Yeah.
not even something to worry about.
So before
We're
we're gonna
always
do,
supported, no matter what we think we're experiencing from
yeah,
moment to moment.
yeah, we are always supported. And we're going to do a little meditation today.
Yes.
Um, but before we get to that, Marie's got another great question. How do you explain community versus those who really are more introverted and their energy requires being in their own space for healing,
Hmm.
and wouldn't initially choose a group or community for support?
Well, I mean, there is absolutely times and stages in our journey where hermit time is sacred, where you
Mhm.
are doing your own healing and processing with yourself. And like I said, it's when you find that you're looping in some things that seem to be outside of your ability to access
Mm.
greater healing through, then that's when you start to seek out community, but never, ever with somebody you don't feel comfortable with.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we can't heal if we're not giving ourselves the tools to create safety with our body. Because our body is the one doing all the heavy lifting. The body is the one that is moving through this ascension ascension cycle. The body is the one who's been living in all the density. So it's the one that's going through it the most. And so and also honestly define introverted and extroverted differently from the way that most of us have historically looked at that, because now I see that as a pattern response based in the entropic system of victim, aggressor, savior.
Mm.
And so, what we've historically done as a species for survival has been attaching to each other and receiving energy from each other instead of being in direct partnership with source and self resourced. And
Yes.
so, what we've all learned is to take energy from others in order for our energy to be full. And then, what I see in extroverts is they overtake, over parasitize. And what I see in introverts is they under parasitize.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why some people are drained by groups and other
Hmm.
people are like lit up by it. It's because the way that our energy system is working with everybody else's energy is either draining us more or fueling us more. And those aren't bad things. This is what we have always done historically. And also, it was required also to be within that framework of duality that we've been in. So
And I
none
think
of
it's
this
it.
is bad or wrong. It's just that we're moving into a new pattern. We're moving from, honestly, from parasitizing each other and to being fully resourced and sustained through our own heart being open and through being able to receive that source energy in our bodies. And then we quit actually taking from others and they quit taking from us. We become more sovereign and in our own energy system. They become more sovereign in their energy system. And then those are the people you spend more of your time interacting with. And then you just learn to recognize, am I being drained right now? Maybe now's not the
Mhm.
time to be in community. I really wanted
Well,
to go to
and
my
I
drum
think it's
circle
a
this week, but I'm tired.
yeah, it's
There's
an
nothing
I
wrong with saying, I know that there's value in community, but right now I need me time.
yeah, and that's exactly what I was where I was going to go with my comment was that I would consider myself an extrovert, but there are many times during my week and weekend where I'm an introvert because
Hmm.
I am drained, because I do love being in community and I do love interacting with people, but I need downtime too to regenerate myself and my energy. So I think we've society or whoever has you tried to put us in one area or the other, and we
Hmm.
really can be in both
It's
at
almost
different
like we
times.
keep trying to clinically diagnose things that are spiritual without understanding what we're really looking at. And
Right.
there's nothing wrong. We're exploring, we're learning, we're growing as a species. Like we're doing the best we can, but almost getting too hung up on certain ideas with self, like, oh, I'm an extrovert. Oh, I'm an introvert. Oh, I'm
Hmm.
this. Oh, I'm that. Even though even if you feel like it's a healthy identity, that's still kind of almost placing a barrier on
Hmm.
who you are and how you see yourself as being safe to be expressed. Then and that brings me back to what I was talking about, my guides having to shove me into being stepping into healing as being part of my honest and direct expression of how I'm showing up in the world. It's because of that discomfort, because I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to hurt anybody by accident. I didn't want to mislead anyone. I didn't want to be responsible. And then it was like, oh, I'm not doing any of that. I'm getting out of the way and spirit is working through me. That is a
Yeah.
completely different partnership and responsibility than if I were stepping forward as like, I'm meant to heal this person. No, they bring their A game, ideally, when I'm in a session. They're the ones facilitating. I'm just holding the space for it and being an active catalyst for that
Yeah.
desired
Marie's got
healing.
another great comment here. So she says, if I'm understanding community becomes a true choice once we resource ourselves and fill our own cup first,
Yes.
and then we share in community from the overflow. So,
That's absolutely right. And we also build with community who are self-sustained.
yeah, yeah.
So, and we all know beautiful people in our world that we love who are not in that place yet. And we
Hmm.
still want to spend time with them, but we recognize that we're more drained when we're with those individuals. We just are aware of it. We don't remove our ability to show up for them
Hmm.
unless it's harmful to us.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's where
that's
Marie's
important.
talking about, yes, we give from our saucer and not our cup. So when you're drained, you go take care of you. That's your number one responsibility. When you're overflowing, you go show up in community and play and give the gift of you.
Beautiful. All
Yeah.
right. Well, let's do our meditation.
Yes.
And then that'll be a beautiful way to close off today's podcast.
Yay. Thank you so much, ladies, and everybody for the Healing Institute. It's such a joy to feel like we have the opportunity to be in safe communities,
Mm.
to be able to share more authentically. it is so empowering to have those opportunities, and it's such a joy to be here and have so many incredible people showing up and so many incredible healers to get to work with and get to meet who have so many different skill sets. And that's one of the other awesome things that I've really enjoyed about the Healing Institute. So, all right. Well, let's go into a little heart-based manifestation. And I'm just going to ask all of our viewers and everybody who's joining us at this time, I just want you to take just a moment. Just going to take a moment. What is something you desire? I don't care if it's big or small. I don't care if you've got 100 stories around you can't have it or you don't know how to create it. That's why we're taking the mental story out of the picture. And it can be something small in the sense that that can be baby steps and that can build the trust. If it's something small, then we might be able to recognize the manifestation of it sooner and recognize the possibility of working with our heart system more in order to activate the creation and the world we want to experience for ourselves and share with the world. So, I what's something I would like to access this month or in the next few months? It doesn't have to be this month. I would really like to be a guest co-host for a retreat. That's something I would like to see manifest. I would really like to be a ceremonial space holder, co-hosting a retreat space this year. That feels really good to me. I would love to hold that circle. I would love for it to be nourished fully in nature time and community and healing unity consciousness. I think that would be a wonderful manifestation. So that's my choice of what I'm working on today in the heart manifestation. So choose something that feels nourishing and supportive and joy filled, regardless of any story or maybe any perceived success or failure around that manifestation in the past. And as you do that, you may even notice some things lighting up in your body and your mental mind. You may have noticed a lot lighting up in your body and your mental mind as we're talking about what that manifestation could look like. What's something you desire to see that isn't in your physical reality right now? I just want you to take your awareness and we're going to drop deeper into the body. We're going to go directly into the heart space. We're going to call in the light of source to surround us, the light of spirit, whatever word you like to use, the universe, the all that is, whatever you want to identify as the creation of all things, that is part of who you are. It is who you are at your core, beyond any identity, beyond any self sense of self. You are love and light. You are part of all of creation and you are sacred and you are held. As I say that, I feel the heart open up even more. Just take a moment to feel that heart, feel into that heart. Doesn't matter. There might be a density, there might be a heaviness, there might be a lightness, there might be an anxiety, there might be anticipation. It could be any number of things, but there's something there. There's something there that wants to be witnessed and expressed. Oh, and so I'm just taking a moment to really deepen in my relationship with my divine heart self and with the spirit that's surrounding me right now. And I'm seeing and I sense that the heart is now expanding and merging in the field around me and around everybody. That light of spirit merging and the heart light merging, and all of it is swirling and activating everywhere around us. There's no wrong way to experience this. There's no wrong way to visualize it. There's nothing wrong, nothing in any form of being out of place or imperfect in any way. In this moment, everything is perfect. Everything is sacred. Everything is held because you are holding it for yourself with an open heart, acknowledging that you have an open heart that is ready to receive. Ooh, that feels good. That feels different. The heart is ready to receive. And the heart is ready to come online and create and to help us bypass the mental stories and the blocks and limited identities that we've carried and the programming and the ancestral trauma. The heart is here to bring all of that into completion and to help us remember who we truly are as children of all that is, who have been invited to know ourselves as creators in a physical form. What an enormous blessing. It's a blessing we don't always know how to receive. I'm going to bring our awareness back to that beautiful manifestation of your desire. As we feel the heart and source light merging all around us, as we sense that we're being held by angels, by our own love, by our own light, our own potential, and the light and source and potential of source all around us. In this moment, we are going to open that heart with resonant gratitude in the visualization of our manifestation being complete. I personally am seeing myself greeting the community I'm going to support in my retreat. I'm there in beautiful land on a sunny day, ready to receive enormous, beautiful community members to join together in healing and commitment to unity. And I am just overjoyed. And that joy feels alive in my body right here, right now. As I deepen in this visualization of this manifestation, I can feel the joy. I can feel the lightness in my body that it says, yes, 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 this is something I want. And there's no story around how it needs to come forward. So I send out my wish. We're just going to send that wish out and we're just going to echo it out to all space and time. This is my heart's desire, beloved source. This is my heart's desire. Please support me in bringing this to me in the most grace-filled, easy, magnificent, miraculous way that I didn't even know I could receive it. And bring this forward in a way that offers me the knowingness of my divinity, the knowingness that I am trusted, I am loved, I am safe, and I am worthy, and I matter. And once we send that beautiful request out into the universe and just say, this is the heart desire, and I don't have any story around how it needs to come about, and I don't have any identity that says I can't have it. It's just simply my heart's desire. And I feel that coming into fruition because I've already tuned into the timeline that's ahead of me that I can receive. And this is the gift of really giving our body the path, really saying, okay, body, you can feel that timeline now, can't you? It may light up a bunch of other things in the system, but that timeline is still there. And that's the one we're tuning into, is seeing that manifest through our heart and feeling that light up emotionally in our system. The most potent way to bring this about is through a full somatic experience. So the more our body can feel the truth of that desire, not from the mental mind, through the body, through the heart, the easier it is for that to come into reality. And from that place, we just send out enormous gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, beloved spirit teams, beloved source, beloved all that is. Thank you. Thank you for continuing to remind me how deeply loved and supported I am. Thank you for continuing to support me in ways that I can't fathom. Thank you for bringing about this manifestation for me in a way that brings me joy and delight and just pleasure and discovery of what I'm capable of receiving. And as we wrap up that beautiful, heartfelt, less potent signal of gratitude, we come back into our full knowingness with self, come back into that heart space fully, bringing all that energy back into our system with deep love, gratitude, and peace, knowing that the request has been heard. All of our spirit teams are already working to bring that about. And that the words have already been spoken, it's already done. And from that place, I build the trust and I build the grace and I build the joy, knowing that all things are possible and knowing that I don't have to figure it out and I'm not doing it alone. Oh, and that feels so good. It feels so good to know that, and to sense that, and to feel that, and begin to recognize it more and more through my every breath. Bringing my awareness back to the breath and bringing my awareness back from my heart space, bringing the fullness of my consciousness back behind my eyes, being here now, maybe even wiggling those fingers and toes, doing a little stretch. Yeah, coming back fully, landing in the body, being in joy. Whenever anybody's ready, you can just take a few more breaths and rest as long as you like in this space, or you can go ahead and come back fully and open your eyes whenever you're ready. And here we are.
Thank you. Thank you. That was just a beautiful, beautiful way to end today's podcast. Um, and I love the way that you do those meditations and manifestations, and I'm glad we combined them all together today.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, beautiful. Anytime we give ourselves, a little more attention and working with
Yes,
the heart, life gets better. It really
absolutely.
does.
It really does. Yes.
And we speak
So,
from experience. We're not
yeah,
just making that
no,
up.
no. So as people know, but I will repeat it again, we have a vision to create this amazing holistic community here at the Healing Institute with our health practitioners who customize whatever you need. It's not a one size fits all. They look and create what you require in order for whatever your issue might be, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever it is. They consider that when they're creating the healing that you've asked for or that you need. Our motto is service with love. And that is just so important for us to show love, be love, have love right at this time of, well, always, but especially right now when we know there's a lot of chaos that's going on in our worlds. So we also have a really big ask. So we are out to heal the world. So please tell all of your community, your friends, your family about the Healing Institute and about the opportunity that they have to come and meet the practitioners. We all have a complimentary consultation, and so you can meet with us at no charge for 30 minutes, just see whether or not we're a good fit. That's definitely one of our values, and is that we want to be able to be a good fit for you and for whoever is looking for health and healing. And so today you got to meet another amazing healer, Kelly Ratzlaff. Thank you so much, Kelly, for being my guest on Heal the World Show podcast today. And we are going to look forward to having another podcast next week with another fabulous healer.
Yay. And thanks to Marie for showing up today and providing really great questions too
Yes,
in the chat.
she's fabulous. I love the way she has those questions and comments. They really add to our conversation. So yes, thank you,
Absolutely.
Marie, for sure.
So, and she's showing up in community today while still being an
Absolutely.
introvert, by the way. Yeah,
Oh, I think
exactly.
we have another comment here. Let's see. Just before we leave. Oh, she sent us a heart. All
Yeah.
right. All right. I'm going to stop the recording. We'll see you all next week.
Take care, everybody.